So I'm going to call him based on the fact that he can have some sort of a delayed bluff, and I expect him to bet a lot of aces on the flop turn. Top left, I think that top left is, I pick up a wheel draw, and I also have a decent amount of showdown value and two overs. It certainly isn't ideal. It isn't an ideal turn check call. I'm not like super stoked about it or anything like that, but I'm not stoked about it. But I think that I'm okay versus range. And then once he bets the river, I don't really expect him to be bluffing too often. I can have lots of fives and eights in my range, so I don't worry about like being split or anything by folding. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I do not have straight, so I'm just going to fold the turn in the bottom left. Some merit to doing something like floating and repping a 7 because he knows that I check back a lot of 7s, but I just choose not to do it here. Bottom left, I'm going to flat because I think that he has been check raise, or top right, I'm going to go ahead and go to raise town and represent the, well, pretty much the only hand I'm representing is, okay, bottom right on a bet for value and hope that he thinks that I turned some sort of an ace high into a bluff, even though I picked up an ace. Top left, I mean, I don't know. Top left, I'm just not going to bluff it, I guess. I mean, I don't know. He has some king X's, like king 5s and shit, but he's also got a lot of, like, jack high flushes, king jack and queen jack, and yeah, there you go, and stuff like that. Bottom left, I check raise bluff the turn, and I'm going to go all in on the river. I've been doing this a couple of different times, and I guess I'm just hoping, okay, you got a flush, so I guess I lose that one. Anyways, going all in again for value, I got lucky on the river, but it was actually unlucky. Top right, I'm going to bet for value since he has, top right, I'm going to bet for value since he's got a lot of ace highs and king highs in his range he's going to check field the flop with. He has only check raised like once or something in the match, so he's not check raising that aggressively on flops, primarily because I'm pot controlling well and because he knows that a lot of stuff will be transparent. Top left, I'm going to 3-bet 7-8 suited. It's just sort of a random thing. Sometimes I 3-bet it, sometimes I flat it. I 3-bet it here because I don't expect to get 4-bet much with less than 100 big blinds. So I mean, you can just bet 100 on the flop. Bottom left, I think this is a good enough hand to peel. When you're opening 100% of buttons, you have to peel a little bit wider to 3-bet. And so I defend Jack 10. Obviously, I dominate a lot of his Jack X, 10X suited hands that randomly decide to barrel. Top left, I'm going to give up. I just don't think he's pure floating me that much, and I have absolutely nothing resembling any equity. Bottom right, or top right is an easy 3-bet, and the reason is because he has been 4-betting me liberally. So I thought about going bet check, bet in the top left, but he's just going to have like king X too much and just call me, and I don't know. Bottom left, I'm just going to check back twice. I think I'm like sort of ahead of his range, but I'm not like super happy with the hand because he can have jacks and queens a lot. I'm just going to fold top left. He could be pure floating me. A gut shot got there with 4-5, which is certainly in his range, so I'm just not going to fuck with anything. Now bottom left, I'm going to spring into action. I'm going to bet something that he can. I'm just going to bet 100. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to bet something that I want to make sure he can call with the worst. That's obviously the key. I'm not necessarily looking to. I'm not necessarily looking to fuck around. I'm not like. I don't think he's gonna call me super light, but obviously, I just wanted to. I'm not necessarily looking to induce or anything like that. Anyways, bottom right. This is a board that he perceives that I will bluff raise a lot, and so I am going to call it off. It's a thin move, and it's not something I would ever do against a normal person. You should never do it yourself. But it's a spot where I think that he might either make it 375 or 400, or I mean, so far he's been pretty in line this session. He might either make it 375 or 400, or it's also possible that he will like randomly float it with something, or like jam ace, king or ace, queen high, or something like that. It's too thin though under normal circumstances. It's only too thin. Bottom left, I'm going to defend Jack 9 suited. I'm certainly okay with that. Top left, I flop a gut shot and 3-bet bottom. He's going to check. I don't want to bet and have an opportunity to get blown off my hand. I'm going to check raise bluff on the bottom left um, because it's that flop hits my range pretty hard. It's sort of unlikely to be checking two pair for value, but not completely, or check raising two pair for value, but not completely inconceivable. Top left, I am going to. What am I going to do? I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it and somehow get it all in. Call it, somehow get it all in on the river, hopefully. I'm just assuming that he is going to give me credit for. He would never check a flush draw on this spot, so I assume he's going to give me credit for. I assume he's going to give me credit for having gut shots, and also he knows that I would check back flushes on the flop. So top right, I could lead the turn. In fact, maybe I should lead the turn. Bottom left, I am not going to keep bluffing because he just has a blade hand right now, or he just has a really good hand when the hand gets played out like this. There's just no fucking way he's floating me with nothing, so I just can't beat anything really. So I just check fold the river. Top right is a relatively easy value bet when he checked around that much. Again, I said on boards where you're going to have really I'm going to just see bet in both these spots in the top anyways, on boards where you're going to have really good really high bluff frequencies, you have to widen your value range. Top left, I am going to bet turn and bet river. My reason for bluffing here is that it is a completely absurd spot that I would never expect. Having a little trouble with the reload feature. Anyways, it's a completely absurd spot that you would never expect me to bluff in. And so he's going to fold a lot of Jack X and 9X on the turn. Top right, I'm just going to check call. I have some showdown value. I'm just not really worried about getting. I guess I'm a little worried about getting barreled. Bottom left, I'm going to lead because I can rep a lot of made hands on that board. I am going to check. I'm going to win some percent of time on the top right, but not that often. I'm thinking about check raise bluffing here. He can give me some credit for slow playing because it's a board that it's perceived that I would check call a strong hand on sometimes, or relatively frequently because, like a very strong hand, because he just bet folded a pair, and that's fine. Bottom right, I'm going to float the turn. My reason is that I can rep diamonds pretty easily, and also that I can represent King X and I won't get bluffed too frequently. And he probably thinks I'm gonna. I assume that he thinks I'm gonna bluff raise this here, but I'm going to do it anyways and hope that he's a level ahead. I mean, he just had a blade hand again, like a really good hand, so he's getting those a lot. Not really much I can do. I'm okay with my bluff raise. Also, he knows the King Jack is just a bluff catcher because I either have diamonds or I guess I could have a set of eights, but not really sure. I guess I misclicked somehow on the top left, but it's irrelevant. I'm just going all in. Just had a huge hand. Really huge hand for the flop. I mean, that's just going to get in between us that deep no matter what. I don't know how I misclicked, but anyways, top right, I tried to pocket control flop and turn. I'm just going to fucking fold the river. I would normally say that he thinks I'm light and I check call this flop because I'm going to check call with a lot of pairs and a lot of king highs. But I'm gonna say that he doesn't barrel this turn because a lot of my king highs either turn into pairs or turn into some sort of gut shots. So it's possible he was going to barrel the turn only if he was going to barrel the river. Top left, I've got pair out of position. I'm going to probably